A common thing that a lot of people have is their trim is dull and neglected, and it adds age to their vehicle. Today I'll be showing you how fast and easy it is to restore it using a couple products, obviously, and some accessories. It's not that hard. So today I have this GMC Sierra in the shop. It's 2005, and you guys can see the bumper has seen better days. I mean, there's filth, grime, debris, and over time, if you don't maintain this bumper, obviously it's gonna deteriorate and fade over time. So first things first, what I wanna show you guys is going to be my blue tape. Nothing special about it. I'm just gonna tape it down the middle, just so I can show you guys the before and after. Now that side is going to my control side. This side is going to be my fully restored side. So over there, I'm not gonna touch whatsoever. This side, I'm gonna restore it. So to start off with, I'm gonna be using our Nonsense Super Cleaner. Nonsense Super Cleaner is an all-purpose cleaner that's going to help me uplift any filth and grime and debris away from the surface of this trim. Now, I always like to pair it using a brush. Now, the brush is going to help me achieve a much deeper clean because it's going to allow me to get deep into the pores and obviously exfoliate the plastic. So all you want to do is spray directly onto the surface of the bumper or the trim you're working on. I don't care if it gets on the floor because I could just simply wipe it off. I'll spray some on there. I will also spray some onto my brush, put my bottle in my soft stool, and then I'll grab my brush and I'll just start going circular motions to uplift any filth and grime away from the plastic piece. Now, I always recommend doing this step by scrubbing the surface of the plastic, just so you can ensure you're exfoliating the plastic. But I want you guys to get up close and personal. I want you guys to come really, really close. If you guys come really close, you guys can see that the foam that is uplifting from this plastic is not clear, it's actually brown. That's because all the filth and grime, the dirt, the debris, the ages, or the filth and grime that's basically sitting on the trim, it's basically stuck on there. So over here, I'm letting it dwell. After you clean up a surface, all you want to do is just grab a clean microfiber towel and then just buff off any residue. Now, by buffing off the residue, you're going to be able to inspect the surface. And look, I could turn it around, you guys can see the towel is not clean. It's actually super dirty. So imagine this, if you were to come and apply a tire shine onto the plastic, it's gonna fail over time. It's not going to last. So just by looking at that, the plastic looks a lot better, but I'm just gonna redo this step everywhere, just so I can ensure I get a true clean. And then after that, we'll obviously protect it. But up here, fun fact, this is actually my truck. So whenever I need to put something inside the back of the bed, I'm always constantly stepping on here. And of course, it gets dirty over time. I haven't washed my truck in a couple weeks, but now I'm getting back to it. But you guys can see by doing this step, not only is it going to restore the look of the car, but it's also going to not look as old. So just scrub it out. Once I'm done, I can put my brush right there. I'll get a clean side. This side is completely clean. It is not dirty. And I see how much filth you pull off of this. I'll come to my bumper, pull it off. Filth and grime is coming off. Flip it over to another clean side, just because I do not want to be rubbing the same exact filth and grime all over the surface. And look at this. Now, Nonsense Super Cleaner is not going to restore the finish. Oh, I forgot the little piece. But let me just cover that really quick. Nonsense Super Cleaner, which is this one right here, is not going to restore. All it's going to do is going to clean the surface of the trim. This is just basically going to prep your trim, so whenever you come and apply a dressing to your plastic, it's actually going to adhere properly and it won't fail or discolor over time. After you use Nonsense Super Cleaner, you follow up with the dressing. Okay. So just by looking at the before and after, I mean, if you don't want any type of dressing, you can go this route and just leave it bare. It's dry, it's not oily whatsoever. But I want to reamp my plastic, especially because this truck does not sit in a garage. It's always outside. And here in Torrance, California, at our headquarters, the truck sits outside for about like 8+ hours, sometimes 12 hours, sometimes 28 hours. But it sits outside and it gets all these UV rays. So the product I personally like using so much on my personal truck is going to be tire and trim gel. So tire and trim gel is a very thick substance. It's actually an oil-based dressing because, like I mentioned, the car sits outside. At home, I have sprinklers, and sprinklers tend to land all over the plastic. Now, oil-based dressings does not mix with water, so it's actually going to repel any calcium buildup or any filth and grime that lands on it. So all I want to do is open up the spout, I'll grab a clean microfiber applicator. Now, I like to go with the applicator because this contours to the area I'm working on. So if I'm getting under here, I could just squeeze it down and obviously apply it on there. And then after that, I like to start off with two drops, but then it just turned into like little lines. I'll do that, and we're gonna start working it in deep into the plastic. So you guys can come up close. You guys can see that a little bit goes a very long way. And not only is it restoring it, but it's also going to be protecting my plastic trim. By protecting it, whenever I park outside in the morning whenever it's foggy here in Southern California, it won't fail over time. My truck's going to look a lot better. It's going to stay rejuvenated. It's going to stay protected. And nonetheless, it's not going to show its age because it's a 2005 truck. It's 2025. That's 20 years old already. So 20 years old with wear and tear. It is not a garage queen. I'll be detailing this everywhere. I'll be taking it everywhere. But just by doing some TLC to it, it's going to rejuvenate the plastic, restore it, and obviously make it look good. Because I don't like having ashy trim. And if you guys look at my applicator has no filth or grime sitting on the applicator because I fully exfoliated this plastic piece, and like this, I'm restoring it properly. So I'm gonna just do the same exact steps up top. 1, 2 drops onto my applicator, and then I'll just start working it in side to side. Working it side to side, deep within to the pores of the plastic. And like this, my dressing will not fail, discolor, or come off as fast. So look, I'm just rubbing it back and forth, working it within the plastic pieces, going to the center point of my controlled area. And you guys can see right now, it does have a high shine. If you don't like the shine, you could just simply grab a clean microfiber towel, which I like to do. Just go back over it and just buff off any excess. Let me just get over here on this back part. All right, so whenever you get to this step, obviously, if you don't like the shine, you could actually control the level of shine just by getting a clean microfiber towel, come back and buff off any residue. And you could also inspect just in case if you missed certain areas. It looks like I missed a little bit back here. So all I do is just grab my applicator and then rub it back and forth inside. All right, so now that I did that, go back to my towel, buff off the residue. And you guys can see the plastic is still restored. It is not dull. It is no longer neglected. It is now protected. I'm still missing this, but I'll get that right now. But now I'll just come to my plastic piece and remove the tape. Let me just clean that up because that's nonsense super cleaner. Dry it up. After I dry it up, you guys can see the big before and after. I mean, this is how the trim came in, and this is how the trim is going to be leaving. It is now clean, it is now protected, it is not oily whatsoever. Come close, I mean, look at this, before and after. That's how fast and simple it is to restore your trim. I mean, it's not rocket science, you can restore this, especially on Jeep owners. Use this method to restore your fender flares or any plastic raw trim on your car if you want these results. But as always, if you guys would like to achieve these results, any of these products that I use in today's video, such as Nonsense Super Cleaner, Tire and Trim Gel, and accessories, you already know where to find them at chemicalguys.com or drive down to a local detail garage. As always, I'm Henry, and we will see you guys next time.